Get that yawn out before we start. So what have you been watching this week? I actually have a lot I've been watching.
Oh. What have I been watching? A new reality favorite has a new season. The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Again.
Now is that mixing of the? Oh man.
Yes, they take different housewives from different cities and send them on a trip together.
Is that the best of all worlds? Like, is it?
Yes and no. It's okay. I mean, it's fun to watch. But it's not as good as the regular season, but fun to watch. I also been watching this show on Hulu called The Watchful Eye.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know what channel, if it's on like a real channel, but if it is, it's on something like CW or Freeform. It's one of those kind of
shows.
Is
it a Lord of the Rings property or?
No.
Oh, cool. Because that's like the line, the watchful eye of Sauron.
Oh, it is? I'm pretty sure that's what the show's called. It's like about like a historic building in like New York City and the rich people that live there, and then like the not rich people who are like the help, the nanny and the.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a mystery.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of thing. It's actually fun to watch. You might like it.
That sounds good.
Sorry for saying the help.
No, we watch so much Bravo that I'm assuming, no, Poker Face. Watched the Chloe Savini episode with the music. That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
The one with the nursing home was very good.
That was wild.
I really liked that one. The latest one. Oh yeah. Okay. So we watched the one after that, and it's the one with the actors. Now the show is very good. I really like
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like the show.
Ellen Barkin.
But it's really apparent that the episodes that are like an hour long are way better than the ones that are around like 45 minutes ish.
I didn't even notice, to be honest.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot more room to get stuff done, and like I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot more to work with.
I get that. It's a very good show.
Yeah, I've been watching that. I am excited to watch a new true crime documentary on the Waco siege on Netflix. I think that'll be pretty good.
But Tim Riggins won't be in it, so will it?
No, Tim Riggins will not be in it. So, I mean, I'm not expecting much, but
I never finished that mini series.
Yeah.
I don't think there were very many episodes, but I watched maybe 75% of it. I was like, I know how this ends.
Yeah. Doesn't end well. There was, what else was I watching? For film class, because I teach, we are doing the history of Disney animation. So we started with Snow White and then moved on to like Cinderella and
Snow White is terrible.
Oh my gosh. I forgot how bad that movie
it's very not fun to watch.
I think the last time I saw it, I must have been like a child. And I don't remember it being that. My kids were like, what is this?
What is this? And you can't say dwarf.
Yeah. And they're like, well, and they were like, dwarf? Like, what? Like, what do we do? Like, I was just like, and I stopped it and I was like, okay, what do we notice about it? And we got into, they're like, why is she just like,
Did she doesn't even know the story of Snow White?
No. So
that's weird, right? No?
It is weird, but these kids don't. I'm trying to actively avoid saying kids these days, but this generation, I will say, they don't really know a lot of that kind of stuff. If it's not on their little box that they hold in their hand to watch TikTok videos,
okay,
they're kind of, we watched
Snow White is short.
We watched all the Indiana Jones movies.
He has no Riz. I remember you telling me.
Yes, they have no Riz. Or he has no Riz.
Someone else, the only other time I've ever heard that word is on Watch What Happens Live. They were doing will you know the Gen Z slang, and they said Riz.
Yes. And they were all like, and then I showed the acceptance speech for the Oscars, and they were like, "Oh, that's that guy," and I was like, "Yeah, see," but like they didn't. It's crazy that they don't know a lot of these pop culture touchstones that like we grew. I don't know. It's just very
Star Wars.
Yes, but they like new Star Wars.
Yeah, sure.
And they're much more accepting of like the prequels, and like even though that they're bad, they're like, oh no, this is what I love. I grew up on it, and it's very interesting. I really like it.
Like the prequels, like the ones that came out when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Those
are like their jam. They love those.
They're good.
Yeah, they're fine.
I've come so much Star Wars content now. Like there's like I was with two of my friends last night, one who like loves Star Wars, and she asked my other friend if they're like caught up on The Mandalorian, and she's like, well, we watched The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and Andor, and I was like, wow.
You know what? I think you should watch Andor. I think you would really like it.
Okay.
You don't have to know anything about The Mandalorian or anything like that.
Add it to my list.
I think you would really enjoy it.
I'm slowly watching The Mandalorian for obvious reasons, but I feel like I have to really pay attention, and I am like a child, like a Gen Z. I don't just sit and watch things. Yeah. I'm always like on my phone or whatever, and I need to stop and just like pay attention.
I just remembered another one that I'm watching. Perry Mason continues to be very good.
I'm not into that guy. Not Perry, Matthew Reese. I'm not into Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew
Reese. I find you know when like you watch interviews with people and they're super weird.
Oh, I mean he's
I don't know. He's like off color sort of in real life, and it makes me feel weird watching him do anything.
Yeah. He's Welsh, so he's got that accent, which is very not. It's just it's such a
indistinctive for
me. Yeah. It's hard to. I'm just like, what? What did he say?
Well, Felicity likes it, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, get Felicity. So I went to lunch with a friend this week who had just came back from the Taylor tour that they went and saw in Arizona, and they said she played for like 3.5 hours.
Guess what?
What?
I got tickets to see.
Oh, you got tickets! Congratulations!
Just this weekend. Last weekend, I posted on my story asking if anyone had like one ticket, and my friend's sister was like, "I have 2 tickets."
That's awesome.
And she's just selling them for face value, like. Not trying to do anything crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a karma. That's good karma. That's your good karma crashing.
Karma is a That's a Taylor Swift song.
What where were you seeing her?
SoFi.
Oh yeah. So be prepared to stand a lot.
I know. From the back row basically for me.
I've heard it's an experience. Is Paramore opening for her for this one?
No, Haim.
Oh, ooh, that'll be fun.
Way better. I don't like. I like Paramore, but I saw them a long time ago, and Haley like lost her voice in the middle. But but she just pulled out her earphone, stormed off stage, and never came back on.
Oh,
and then the band came out. They'd only been playing for like 35 minutes.
Oh, no.
The band came out and they're like, we're just going to play Misery Business and you guys can sing, I guess. No apologies, no refunds, no nothing. So I've disliked them ever since. I've really disliked her ever since. So I'm glad I won't be seeing Paramore.
One of my students today was like, oh, play the new Paramore. And I was like, okay. And I was playing them.
Oh, they have new music.
Yeah, there's a new album that came out. And I go... oh yeah, she's like dating a band member. And one of my students goes, ugh, again? Jesus. I was like, yeah. She's like, well, hopefully we'll get some good music out of it. I was like,
okay, Gwen Stefani.
Oh, man.
It's been done.
Yeah, but yeah, my friend didn't know any of that whole drama, and she was like, I was
Paramore?
looking it up on Wikipedia. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, like her and the guy from Newfound Glory, and like there was yeah.
There's an age discrepancy there.
Yeah, it's a whole yes. He was like, I went down this huge rabbit hole, and
I like Newfound Glory.
Yes, and like
much more than Paramore.
Yeah, it was just, even my students were like, but you're right. Gwen Stefani is the OG.
Yeah. They got even more famous because they broke up.
Yes. Oh, man.
Because Tragic Kingdom and Return of Saturn are both about Tony Kanal.
Are they both about Tony Kanal?
To my understanding. To my interpretation.
Huh. Man, no doubt. It's hard to explain how big they were.
I was just thinking about this today, thinking about how I wish I could see them as a band again.
Mm-hmm.
And how Gwen Stefani is like so removed from what No Doubt was, and I would like never want to see Gwen Stefani live by herself. And
yeah,
I just want to see No Doubt.
Yeah, I wonder how that would be. Would that be even? I don't know. Well, hopefully those guys are living a comfortable life.
I'm sure they are.
Okay, let's
get into this episode.
Yeah, we'll get into this episode. I have a
question before you start.
Yes.
Did you enjoy this episode?
No. Actually,
I really didn't enjoy. I was like watching going like,
yeah,
this isn't fun to watch.
It was I thought I would enjoy it because of the ratio, how much Captain Lee we got. It was a big Captain Lee episode.
True. I loved every part where Captain Lee was in it.
Yeah. But I could not stand 90% of this episode.
Because it was too like maritime, or just because everyone was drunk and screaming the whole time.
That man. Okay, so they open up the episode with the bit about changing rooms. So their continuation from the last episode of Kat wanting to change rooms and bunk with, was it? Yeah, Alex? Chef Ben.
Oh,
I thought it was she was with Adrian.
She wanted to bunk with Chef Ben, but that's not what ends up happening.
No, Ben ends up switching with her, and I don't know. They're not very clear on it. So, but it's just so dumb. The whole thing is just the theme
Adrian
of this.
And Ben finally agree.
Mm-hmm. So they're at the supermarket shopping for the charter. Yeah,
because that's not usually how it's done.
Yeah. And they take it upon themselves. It's like, you know what? Let's just cut the bullshit. Let's just switch. It'll be easier for everybody. And I was like, oh, awesome. We're not going to have to deal with this anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Letting it
Alex
go.
Kat made such a big deal about it last episode that they were like, let's just fucking do it. So that they kind of leave that there. And then they flash back to the boat. They're getting ready for the charter, and Captain Lee gets a phone call that the charter guest or the charter is canceled because of insufficient funds from the person.
I swear it wasn't me.
It gave me like a cold sweat, like flashback from when I was like 20 something, having like insufficient funds. Like I still get that sometimes when I'm like paying. I'm like, oh God,
what if?
Is it kind of? And I distinctly remember one person saying, and I was like, oh, is the card okay? They're like, yeah, it says insufficient funds. I was like, oh, it tells you that? It was so embarrassing. Oh, but yeah, so the charter's canceled and everybody's celebrating. Everyone's hyped. They get a couple day, quote unquote, vacation. And Kat says they need a vacation. From what?
From what? I know. They get a night out every like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. And she goes, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. And I'm just like, man, like what?
I mean, let's be real. Every day, don't we say we need a vacation?
True.
And we're not scrubbing toilets at sea.
But I was about to say, and I have a bed that's like larger than a
tuna can.
I'm not like in a coffin. But yeah, like I get it. They're in customer service, right? I guess you can count this as customer service.
They're in service.
They're hospitality. We'll say hospitality. So yeah, I get it. But like, man, it's just Kat. This episode was, I think, rose above Sam in the level of insufferable.
I wrote in my notes, Kat is being such a bitch.
When did you write that?
It's right after I canceled charter, and then Kat is being such a bitch.
I think so. Right after they cancel the charter, they do the bedroom switch, the swap. So,
but Kat is upset because I actually don't know why she's upset. It's almost like she feels like they stole her idea to switch.
I rewound it.
Okay.
I thought I missed something. I did not miss anything. I could not discern why she was so pissed off.
It felt like because they didn't do it when she asked, she was mad that she felt like it was their choice, not hers. That's how I felt. Like,
yeah.
And then maybe she was mad because I think she wanted to room with Ben, but she ended up rooming with Alex.
So,
she does say later that she's very jealous of Adrian and Ben's friendship. So
which is
all got to go together. She's cuckoo.
Yeah. To me, it's like, I think she mentioned something about them doing it behind her back or whatever. And it's like, lady.
It's your idea.
Yeah. What? Like what? Big
lady. Who you calling a lady?
Yeah.
Just
yeah. She was making. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go.
This whole episode was, I think I disliked it so much because she was acting such a fool, you know, like
in the words of Chef Ben, Kat's a wreck.
Kat's a wreck.
He looks at her with this, like the confusion we probably look at our students with often, and just says, Kat's a wreck.
Yeah. Like, I wrote down the quote. Maybe she gave him a blowjob, end quote. And I wrote such high school bullshit.
Yeah. She's being insufferable.
Yeah. Just like digging at people. Like
immature. Yeah. Super immature.
So, on their day off, they're being like super like loose. They're like, oh, cool. We're going to do this. And Captain Lee gets it in his mind. He goes, I'm going to fucking do a fire drill on these kids. And it is the funniest thing because Captain Lee will not go 5 minutes without the opportunity to just give it to Alex. Like he was to the camera, to the talking head, everybody. He's just like, you think I'm going to turn his keys over to this little young guy? I was like, yeah,
that's right.
So the fire drill ends up being a cluster. They end up like killing two people.
It is so insane. There is this scene where CJ is carrying like 11 life jackets down the stairs, running down the stairs. And I just wrote like, CJ is insane. He looks like an absolute maniac.
Yes. And so at first they say it's an electrical fire and Alex is so confident. He's like, oh yeah, they're spraying it right now. And Lee's like, well, you just killed both of them. It's electrical fire. It was so funny because, okay, when I had to, it's not the same, but it's kind of the same. When I managed a pool, I always had to work with high school kids and like run them through drills and stuff like that. And like when you're like, hey guys, like you gotta kind of take this seriously, they're always like, oh yeah, but we did it already. Like I empathized with Lee here. Like he was pissed because, I mean,
safety is number one on a boat.
Yes.
It's in the hierarchy of the boat, as I've learned over time. It is above charter guests.
Oh my gosh, really?
Safety, guests, captain, crew.
Safety, guests, captain, crew. Whoa.
Because if you're dead, you can't really serve the guests.
if you're dead, you
are burned alive in an electrical fire by CJ and Alex.
I still get distracted at the spelling of Alex's name. Is it Alex? Like
it's Alex, but I'm guessing his name is Alexander, but with the KS like Russian-ish.
Yeah.
And so he goes by Alex. It's the same way on you're not there yet. On Sex and the City, there's a character named Alexander Petrovsky, who's Russian, played by Mikhail Baryshnikov. And when he goes by Alex sometimes, and they spell it like that.
Okay.
A lot of information overload there.
No, that makes sense. So they feel bad that Alex got yelled at. So everybody, they're like, okay, we're gonna study for him. And then we see like Sam and CJ like getting all like comfy,
holding each other. Yeah.
When did that happen? What is going on?
This season, because it was the first season, they like left out a lot of plot. Like we're missing things in the editing of this season, I feel like.
Yeah. Like I saw that and I was like, wait. A couple times during this episode, like there were little kisses and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Gross.
And then Kat wanted to get in on it. So he's like, oh, hey. And like
in bed with both of them.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, I wrote, WTF is going on? CJ sucks. Why are they up on him?
I wrote, Sam holding CJ. Kat has too many accents. Those are my two.
Kat does have too many accents.
She's like speaking in like her Maryland accent. Rhode Island. I always say Maryland. Yeah. Rhode Island accent. And then she's like got like a straight accent. And then she's got like a British accent. She goes in and out of them.
There is some like weird British Cockney accent that like works its way in there.
To go to the bar.
That was really good.
Thank you.
That was a very good Kat impression. A lot of times.
I pronounced my R too much there. Kat wants to go to the bar.
Oh man. I thought it was nice how they all really like Alex and they felt bad. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I think the little sense of camaraderie there was nice to see versus just like a constant barrage. Maybe I'm just kind of lame like that, but I would much rather, I like the drama, but also like give me a little like, yeah, we're there for you and all that stuff. I then wrote, I forgot what was next, but I wrote Kat is insufferable, giving me PTSD from a girl I dated.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Ugh. Oh yeah. She so they go out to dinner, right?
This is terrible. Yeah.
I felt so uncomfortable watching this dinner.
You and Eddie both.
Eddie, I don't think I've ever related to anybody on the show more than I did with Eddie. Homie leaves his dinner. He has ordered dinner. Actually, let's rewind that first.
Let's rewind. So after they have a makeup fire drill and they fail that one too.
Oh, I think that was after. That was the night after because they're all hungover.
No, I don't think so.
Are we? I thought that was.
No, I'm not sure. Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. So I wanted to rewind to when CJ and them were getting ready for the night out, and CJ goes, "I need to iron my khakis," and I just wanted to turn it off. I was like, CJ is like the grossest person.
What's even grosser is that Sam ironed his khakis.
Yeah. what is happening?
It is her job. I mean, it's not her job.
It's her job.
Crew's clothes, but like they do crew laundry.
They do, but also she's really good at it with all that practice from taking the tags off and taking. Oh man.
I think they mixed it up because when they're at dinner, they are talking so rudely about Captain Lee that I must have just mixed it together. I mean, the things that they are saying about him, I wrote them all down, but I don't really want to say them because they're so mean and disrespectful.
Yeah, they're very they're very mean to Captain Lee. They're even worse later when he's like kind of when he canceled. So we'll get to it, but they're at dinner and Kat is out of her mind, raging drunk, yelling at the restaurant. They order and like Eddie finally listen. I like Eddie. I wish there was a little more Eddie on the show.
Stay tuned for later seasons.
I can't wait because he seems to be a little bit of voice of reason. He just is like, this is what I would have done because I don't know. It's very me energy. I think is just to be like, all right, I'm going to go. I am not going to deal with this. This is embarrassing. And what he says eventually about it is, listen, like we're a crew. This is what, everybody looks at us like we're together. We're like a team. And if one of us acts like that, we're all going to be perceived as that. And I don't want to do that. And which is a fair assessment when Kat was being an absolute nutbag.
Nutbag.
Just as you said, she was being just a kook. I don't know. Have you? I hope I've never been that obnoxious or been with that obnoxious people. Have you ever been like that drunk at a restaurant?
I have not been. I've definitely been around, out with people who are embarrassing me. Not in a long time.
Yeah.
But definitely when I was like in college or shortly after. But probably not at dinner. I don't feel like that would be a place where,
I've definitely
intoxicated.
When I was working at the city, I definitely was at Harbor House a couple times with a bunch of really drunk people, and I was just mortified.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Kat goes on to say, quote, "I'm drunk, horny, and bored after this, after coming home and like pushing Chef Ben into a room and locking the door behind them. Topless, yes. And Chef Ben, being the consummate gentleman, says he never kisses and tells, which kind of tells us, So the next morning, Captain Lee decides to spring another drill on them.
That's right, at 6:30 in the morning.
Yes, and Kat is stumbling.
I'd be mad if someone did that to me.
I would be mad too. But Kat doesn't have pants on. So she's like, I gotta get my pants, and judging by the drill, like they actually seem to be on point, but Lee was not having it. He was nitpicking. And rightfully so. As you said, the hierarchy, safety is first. And he's yelling at CJ, you can't go in there without a shirt on, man. You got to have a lot of layers. And he's like, oh, why?
Which is the 50th time that he's told CJ to put a shirt on.
Put on a shirt.
CJ was sleeping, but also like get a shirt.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Lee was just on one. He was not having it. He was not happy.
I liked when he said, and Sam, why is that smirk on your face?
And she says, I'm just a happy person. I would have kicked her ass off my boat.
So rude. Did Kat say in front of Captain Lee she thought they did a good job?
I don't think so. I think that was either a voiceover or a talking head. She
was being unbelievably disrespectful when talking about him. I just wrote with a bunch of exclamations, disrespect. Kat is lucky she has a job.
Yes.
Like, he let her slide on something that she was doing that was wrong.
Yeah, totally.
And he was very, very understanding to her. And even went
Above and beyond.
Went above Adrian and said, listen, I'm in charge and it's fine. Like, he stood up for her. And then she has the nerve to be so rude after a freaking fire drill.
Yeah. And Alex calls him Captain Pegleg.
Captain Old Pegleg, and someone calls him Captain Dipshit.
Yeah. Guys, what are we doing?
He's 80 years younger than Lee, which is a lie. And rude. Ageist.
So rude.
Ageist.
But I immediately in my head, I was like, yeah, she's going to get called out for being ageist. Yeah, like, I wrote Sam sucks, smirking. Ugh. I
spoken like a true teacher. Smirking. Ugh.
And that's what it gave. I think that's why I had such a visceral reaction to it, because it was like when I was talking to my kids, a couple kids earlier in the year, of like, where were you? Like, I was in the bathroom. No, you weren't. Yes, I was. And they had this look on their face that I just wanted to like reach into their soul and like.
I know it. And you have kids who smile when they like uncomfortably smile when they're in trouble. So they're like, you know that they don't think it's funny, but they're like,
yeah,
smirking, and you're like,
just come on.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, so they get done talking. It's their day off, so they are gonna go to this. Did they go to another island or something? I don't know. But like CJ and Sam are just acting like a couple, and it's distressing. Ugh. And during this whole time, they're complaining about Captain Lee. They're complaining about, oh, that was not fair, this and that. And like, they come back and Lee just straight up says he'll fire CJ for, what was that about? In the jacuzzi? Do you remember?
Okay. They were in the jacuzzi and he went naked.
Okay. That's what it was.
Or supposedly he and Dave under the water were switching trunks.
Yeah.
And see, Lee's like, don't ever do that again.
Lee,
you should not be naked in your place of work. I don't know if that probably applies to most jobs.
Yeah.
I say
can
most.
Confirm.
Yeah. Like and there was Sam in the jacuzzi with them? Like, if so, it was
Captain Lee, you know what I think happened? Because Captain Lee didn't have a shirt on and it was in swim trunks. I think he wanted to come out and have a nice little soak. He wanted to soak.
And all those jabronis were in the
tub. All of those young little something or others were ruining his time getting naked in this place of business.
Not have been naked.
They really shouldn't have, and I would have reacted the same.
And also, like, even if you were gonna do that, maybe you don't do that when your boss comes out.
Yeah, like, oh man. I wrote down as a note when they were doing all their sailing stuff, because sailing sounds too difficult. Why would I want to do?
We should watch season 1 of Sailing Yacht next. Actually, we should just skip to season 2. Season 1's a wash.
It just sounds difficult. I don't.
For sure. We should definitely watch season 2 of Sailing Yacht. It's
okay.
a different cast. It's like it's like 2 separate housewives cities. Like you don't have to watch Below Deck to watch Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
It's the same. Yeah. It just doesn't sound fun. It sounds like I understand it's a very affluent hobby or activity.
Sailing.
But like, does that have any allure to you? Like,
I forgot. Do you get seasick?
No. I got thrown up on during the whale watching trip of 8th grade at my middle school, but I didn't throw up.
When you were in 8th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get very seasick, but I just take Dramamine and stuff.
Okay.
But I've never been on a sailboat. I've been on other boats.
I went on the Catalina Flyer for 8th grade whale watching.
I went on the Catalina Flyer and I couldn't believe I didn't throw up.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I got thrown up on.
I took Dramamine. That sounds, if I got thrown up on, I would throw up. Actually, I've been thrown up on. Okay, when I taught preschool, I had this boy who I just adored. He was like one of my absolute favorite kids. He's now like 16 years old. Just want to say that. But he was super sad one day, and we thought he was just sad. He was like staying for an after school class that he didn't normally stay for, and we thought he just didn't want to. And I was holding him, like he was like bear hugging me, like sitting hugging him. He's sobbing, and all of a sudden he just like
Ralph
throws up everything he must have ever consumed in his life all over me.
Oh.
I had to completely change my clothes. It was like,
and
you
can't
in my underwear. Like I was just coated in his vomit.
You can't. The hard thing about that is you can't react super negatively.
Nope. Yeah, because he was just so sad, and turns out he was that sad because he was super sick. And when you're like 2.5 years old, you don't know how to say I'm actually sick. But it was a good thing it was him, because I just adored him so much,
buddy.
But I didn't throw up. I didn't throw up when that happened. So I guess what I was going to say.
It didn't say he didn't set off an insane chain reaction of vomit. That's good.
Exactly. But I don't know if being on a sailing yacht would be best for me. But maybe I've been on like a regular boat with Dramamine and been fine ever since I learned that I got seasick, which was when I was about 10 years old snorkeling in Hawaii.
Oh. Did Kat call Captain Lee a Nazi at some point?
She sure did. I think that's when I wrote disrespect.
Yeah, that's just not okay. Like what?
Remember that this was, what was it, 10 years ago?
Yeah, so that was a pretty common label we slapped on people that we disagreed with a lot.
But he's not a Nazi, and we don't really say that anymore. Unless we're talking about
actual
the Republican Party.
Yes, that is fully endorsed.
Actual.
Who are
Nazis.
Oh man.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, not sorry. Don't apologize. I thought one of the most disturbing things I saw during this episode was Ben bathing in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, that was odd. The water was like very low.
Do we think that was chlorinated water? That's my question.
Is a hot tub usually?
Yes.
I don't know, because they're always like draining it and maybe. I really don't know. He kept talking about how he's English and loves baths.
If I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, I could say, well, they drained it and they filled it a little bit before they put chlorine in it. We're good. It's fine.
But he wasn't close. He wasn't CJing it in the
No,
tub.
he was not CJing it up.
I think he was trying to be funny.
But he had like shampoo with him.
That's true. He was soaping his hair. Forgot. I think that their showers are like over their toilets. Like I think probably having a good shower is not easy in those bunks. But
I could see that. Okay, yeah. Well, you've made me feel better about the situation. It then cuts to Eddie and CJ in their bunks, just hanging out like a couple of dudes, a couple of bros. And I wrote, Eddie and CJ seem to be the best guys on the boat.
CJ?
Captain Lee. No, not CJ. Not CJ.
Dave.
Who's Dave? Why did I write CJ? Ugh. Eddie and Dave.
CJ smirks. Ugh.
CJ smirks.
Eddie and Dave. Yeah, they're like bros.
Yeah, they're so nice. And man, just give me a buddy yacht movie or a show with them.
Spin-off.
I would have left the dinner as well. Oh yeah. I think I'm going to jump to the most outlandish thing that was said during this whole episode. Quote, "Cat's living the dream, man." End quote from Sam.
What?
Yeah. Sam said or claimed that Cat was living the dream.
In what respect?
The fact that she's, so Captain Lee comes when they're eating dinner and is like, hey guys, what was it? What is he called? Land something? They can't go off boat for the night.
I forget what they called it.
Yeah. They're past
grounded.
Shore leave. Let's call it shore leave.
Shore leave.
Their shore leave is canceled because they did such a shitty job on their last drill, and
work's not getting done.
Captain Lee's putting the foot down, rightfully so.
And the majority of the crew says, all right. You see them tucking themselves in, turning off their lights.
Kat's like, no, I'm going out. And someone's like, wow, are you really going to go out? And I think that's when Sam was like, oh, Kat's living the dream, man. And I'm just like, what dream?
Delusion.
Is that like, hey, it's insane. So I'm going to let you explain what happens next.
So that Kat a few times tries to convince Captain Lee to let her off of the boat. And he simply is sitting there and just keeps saying, no.
Captain Lee's wearing this like embroidered button up.
It's his style. It's like a long sleeve Mexican wedding shirt.
It is a long sleeve Mexican wedding shirt
it's
with like blue.
Florida.
Yes, it's
Floridian. Awesome. And she's like, well, could I just go for a stroll? And he's like, no, you can't.
No,
and her voice starts to get this like the weird accent with the, but I just want to go. And he just says no. So then, while he's sitting there, she decides to sneak up like a ladder into what I can only presume is like the storage locker.
Was she already drunk at this point?
If she wasn't, she's maybe took too many anxiety pills. I'm concerned for her. But he literally just watches her climb up this ladder, and he's just smirking, smirking. He's just like laughing to himself, chuckling. And then we see Kat running down the dock, cut to credits.
And he's like walking after her, and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me? I could be in bed watching my stories.
Could be in the jacuzzi with my
eating a pizza.
Oh yeah, dog pizza.
Ben made this like lamb pizza that looked not great.
I don't
like
eat lamb,
he was just putting
nasty.
As Ben put it, I'm just going to put a bunch of protein on different pizzas, and I'm like, well, if that's what it takes to be a chef. Yeah,
well, for a bunch of these guys, why not?
Yeah, next episode looked like it's a nightmare. They got a couple vegans on board. I feel bad for Chef Ben already. I don't know. This episode was like very like, oh my, it was
too much negativity.
Way too much negativity.
If I wanted to watch negativity, I'd just play my own brain.
I think about what the kids were telling me.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Like I watch these shows to relieve myself of my feelings and thoughts.
I watched this show to get away from my day job in high school, not to watch a bunch of high school.
Watch adults acting like they're in high school.
Yeah. So I don't know. We got a lot of Lee, which was the salvaging point.
I did write down my favorite Lee quote from this episode.
Give me the Captain Lee moment of the episode.
It's when he's trying to explain to Alex why it's so important that he knows what to do in the fire drill. And he says, you are the head motherfucker in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would like my students to say that to me one day.
Yeah. That would be great. I think my students have a better chance of saying that to me than
true.
But we can dream.
Mine would write it in like a secret note that I'd find stuck in a desk or something.
This motherfucker. Okay, so the MVP of the episode, I think we can both agree it's Captain Lee.
Oh, it's always Captain.
Lee. Yes. But like, you know,
no one does. I mean, I might have to. Well, Eddie and Dave are usually up there, but they didn't do much.
But for this episode,
Eddie did leave.
Okay, so would you put Eddie over as the MVP of the episode over Captain Lee for leaving?
Captain Lee is always number one. He will be number one no matter what he does. But
we can't give him the MVP.
Out,
okay, tell you what,
Eddie.
The Captain Lee MVP of the week goes to it's a Captain
Eddie
Lee
Lucas.
Branded. Yes.
Oh,
do you remember when he was standing up just rattling off stuff that Kat said about I am not going to repeat It's about getting D's and getting someone to
crazy.
I was mortified listening to that. I was like, I hope nobody hears this coming from this apartment.
Really let her guard down, like let loose from episode 1. She's gone from this like semi-professional, like good at your job, caring for Sam, trying to hold it together with.
Yes,
it's like Simon triggered her into like lunacy.
And that segues the LVP, the least valuable player of the week, is Sam.
Oh, it's Sam over Kat?
Oh, no, sorry, Kat. I don't know why I do that. It's Kat. If only for calling Captain Lee a Nazi.
Only one of us has watched these episodes approximately 15 to 20 times, so it's okay to mix up the two short A names.
But if it wasn't for the Nazi comment, I would say Sam would be the LVP because of shacking up with CJ and with that smirk.
Ugh.
Just, yeah. Ugh. Oh man, I'm glad to just this episode out of my life. I'm like a Vegas dealer. leaving my table.
Riddance.
Get out of here with this episode. Can't wait for episode 8, which I don't have the name for. I am unprepared.
It's okay.
But yeah,
probably some kind of boat pun.
Yes, today's episode was Naughty Yachties, which
Naughty Yachties.
Naughty.
Let's see. There, it's called. Is this right? There's a new captain in town.
Whoa.
That's what the internet says it's called. There's a new captain in town.
There's a new captain in town. That is the name of the episode. So we have that. We have 4 episodes left, including the reunion and the crew tells all.
Crew tells all is not even worth it.
No? Okay.
Not to burst your bubble.
Not bursting my bubble at all. We can go to the reunion and skip the crew tells all. Are they both hosted by Andy or?
Crew tells all is just more like probably deleted scenes with like talking heads.
Yeah, no. You know. I can't wait till we get to Sir Andy Cohen.
It's gonna be good. Love a reunion.
All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you later.
Ahoy.